I don't know what's going on, but my computer's not listening to anything I'm telling it to do right now. Like nothing. Like I'm clicking buttons and it's not responding. It's just crazy. But regardless of that, guys, welcome to the Brook Lives Matter show, guys. We're gonna be talking about today the 10 things that wealthy people focus on. 10 principles rather, 10 principles that wealthy people live by. So I hope you guys are ready for a fun show. And as we get ready to get started, you guys, my name is George Howard, and I am the founder of Financial Freedom University. I've been teaching now financial education for, 20 plus years. I say that every time, and I'm like, gosh, right? Because it's just a long time. And it makes me realize that I'm old, right? And, I guess I'm getting a little older. That's okay. I want to greet everybody and tell everybody hello. So if you don't mind, go ahead and speak to me. Tell me hello so I know that you're in the room. Typically, I try to pull up Periscope. What's going on, Harold? Good to see you. I haven't seen you today, so it'd be nice to see you before I leave, before you get off work, rather. Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up Periscope, you guys, so we can go ahead. But I'm the founder of Financial Freedom University. I've been teaching now financial principles and teaching this for a very, very, very long time. Tell everybody hello. So, if you don't mind, go ahead and turn this down. Tell me hello, so I know that turn it down. Turn it down. All right. So, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and speak to everybody that's on here. Lori, Pamela, Allison, Lacorius, Miss Exotic, Chelsea, is it Chelsea, Charles? And Nichelle, good to see you guys that are on here. Look like there's 27 other people. Well, actually, it's going up and down. So, guys, we've been teaching this for a very long time, guys. I I've worked throughout the whole night. Went into Milwaukee yesterday, came back, and day before yesterday, came back last night, and I worked like literally to 8 o'clock this morning. So when I say I'm on this much sleep, I'm literally on this much sleep. So I apologize, but it's good to see you guys. So let me get into my flow. 10 principles of 10 principles that wealthy people live by is what we're talking about today. Let me see if this computer is going to act right, because it is not responding to anything. Oh, now it wants to respond. Look at this. Wow. Okay. Well, at least it's responding now. I'm going to take a small commercial break, you guys, and I'll be right back after this message. You guys be blessed.
Hey, this is George Howard from Financial Freedom University, and I'm so ecstatic right now because one of my great students has just bought her first property, and she bought it for $1,600. I mean, that's $1,600, you guys. Most people are spending more than that on a car repair or on a pair of shoes or on a Christmas, on a vacation. She bought a house. She will never have a mortgage again. Totally debt-free, a house. All brick, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, living room, dining room, kitchen, full basement, you name it, it's all right here. I could not be prouder than this young lady. Carolyn, tell them how you got started, what you did, what made you decide to go ahead and take this leap of faith.
My name is Carolyn Williams. I'm a single parent of 4 kids, and I found George on social media. I took his the first course I took was 6 Steps to 6 Figures. The second course was Purchase to Profit, and what I did, I took my tax refund and I bought a whole house.
Half a house?
Nope, a whole house. So I bought this beautiful home, all brick, 3 bedrooms, and no debt, no mortgage, paid in full.
No debt, no mortgage.
First time homeowner, and I can honestly say I got my first home with no 30-year mortgage, no debt, which is a blessing. So if I could do it, you can do it too.
Man. So I'll tell you guys this, what you guys need to do right now, don't delay. Click the Learn More button right now, right below here. Click the Learn More button and find out how you can enroll in a 6 Step to 6 Figure class, how you can take a Purchase to Profit class, how you can come to the very next conference where we give you hand-on training, 15 of my staff people, to learn exactly how we're doing it, what we're doing it. Because just like she said, if she can do it, you can do it too. Take action today. Be blessed. Hey,
all right, you guys, thank you guys for being back here. Guys, we're about to get started. The 10 principles that wealthy people focus on. If you guys have not registered, we're going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida this weekend. If you have not registered for Wealth Weekend, you want to make sure your face is in the place. You will get me literally for 2 whole days in a room, literally teaching you how to develop passive income, how to get out of debt, how to retire in 7 years or less. Now, I want to make sure you guys get this and hear me. 7 years or less, you'll be absolutely debt free. In 7 years or less, you'll be able to retire. That is my guarantee. Every single person there will leave with their own financial plan on how you can literally be debt free, have enough passive income coming in. And it's not just through real estate. I want you guys to understand this. This is not just through real estate. There's so many other ways to develop passive income. We're going to be developing that plan for you this weekend. We've done it in New Orleans, we've done it in Nashville, and now we're coming to Florida. We're coming to Florida. Don't worry, Georgia, we're coming to you next. And but you guys want to make sure, go register right now, myffu.com/wealth weekend. So the 10 principles that people live by, guys. If you're ready for that, go ahead and press 111111111. Cheyenne, good evening, good to see you. Lori, good evening to see you. Good to see you guys. Hit those ones for me, guys, if you have not. Don't forget that I believe, and we believe here at Financial Freedom University, that poverty is a mindset. Say it with me, poverty is a mindset, and broke is a temporary condition. When I say that, that lets you guys know that it's your job to let the enemy know, let the devil know, let Satan know that where I am financially right now, I may be here right now, but I will not be here always. It's only temporary. Go ahead and put it on the screen. Temporary, temporary. Where I am right now is only temporary. Go ahead and claim that right now in the name of Jesus. I touch and agree with you that in Jesus' name, that it's only temporary. So, guys, as we get started, I want to begin to go ahead and let you guys know that the 10 principles that rich people do. The reason I chose to do this topic is because I believe this, that until we begin to do different things, that we won't get different results. Until we begin to change our mind about money, money won't change its mind about us. And so I want to come in and begin to tell you and teach you and show you some things that maybe we should be developing, some things that we should be working on, because your job is to be weird. America today, listen to me, this is real talk. 4 out of 5 people live check to check. 78%. 4 out of 5 people live check to check. That is a horrible statistic. I mean, it's profound, but it's still horrible. But that lets you know that you're not by yourself. If you're in that number, if that's you, you're not by yourself. But the truth is, you guys, we have to do something different if we want to have different results. And when we look at America, if 4 out of 5 people are in that same boat, then maybe we should be doing what the 1 out of 5 are doing, not what the 4 out of 5 are doing. And so today I want to come in and begin to show you and begin to talk about, we're going to be doing it all this week. What is the 1 out of 5 doing that the 4 out of 5 aren't? Because if you keep doing what the 4 out of 5 are doing, you're going to be just like them, and that's normal. And normal people are broke. Normal people have a less than a 700 credit score. Normal people are filing bankruptcy. Normal people are getting divorced. Normal people fight over money in their marriage. This is statistics. Normal people have no money, well, very little money in their retirement. Normal people can't write a check for $600 and still meet their monthly obligations. Normal people get the rainbow coalition of the pink and the green and the yellow bills in the mail that are shut-off notices or late notices, or normal people are juggling bills. So I'm going to put something on this one, and I'm going to put something on this one. I got to pay this one off. That's normal. Guys, that is not God's will for your life. Somebody say, I'm weird. I am weird. I am weird. I am weird. Weird people have a plan for their money. Weird people have good credit. Weird people say, I'm not going to allow money to destroy my marriage. Weird people say, you know what? I'm never going to worry about money another day in my life. Weird people are debt free. Weird, because it's why? Because it's not normal. And if you keep doing normal things, you keep getting normal results. And unfortunately, normal in America does not look really good. It looks pretty bad. Normal in America. And so the 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't is that, number 1 is that normal people think long term and not just for today. Normal people think long term and not just for today. I'll say it again. Normal people think long term and not just for today. Now, I say that, guys, and I know that it's kind of difficult to even think about tomorrow or next month or next year or even 5 years from now when today is so hard, right? I understand that, you got to get up, you got to take care of the kids, you got to, fight your way to work through traffic, you got to work at a job that you really don't like, you have to fight your way home, and then you got to take care of the kids, and if you have a spouse, you have to, tend to the spouse. There's really no me time. I understand that. but I want to say it again. At some point, that if we don't begin to think about tomorrow, then tomorrow will always look like today. I'll say it again. At some point, if we don't begin to think about and plan for tomorrow, tomorrow will consistently look like today. And if today is uncomfortable for you, then at some point we must begin to do something different. And that thing that's different today, you guys, is that we must begin to change our mind about money. I'm going to say it again. We must begin to change our mind about money. And so they think long term. When I say that, that is that people, or rich people or wealthy people, they literally begin to think about legacy and not money. Hear me. When I say that, that is to say, when I'm gone, what will be the legacy that I live or that I leave? What will my children begin to think about me? What will their grandkids think about me? Will they even know me? What influence is still up on the earth when I'm gone? What influence is still here when I'm gone? So when we begin to talk about that, and Lord, I'm coming to Georgia. We're making the plans now. We want to make sure that it's right. But when I get there, you guys, well, I will never get there if I never begin to think about it. Hear me, and I want you guys to hear me well. Success is not an accident. And say it again. Success is not an accident. There's a whole lot to go into success, and it starts here. Hear me. It starts with a thought. It starts with a plan. It starts with you beginning to do something different that you have never done before. Guys, I challenge you today that begin to think and say, 10 years from now, where do I want to be at? Seriously. And I want you to write it down. 10 years from now, I want to be debt free. 10 years from now, I want to be retired. 10 years from now, I want to have $20,000 a month in passive income. 10 years from now, I want to have a business. 10 years from now, this business will be this. 10 years from now, I will not have to work this business. It will work because I have people working the business for me. 10 years from now, I will own this many properties. 10 years from now, what does 10 years look like for you? And so many a times we say, well, in 10 years, I want to be married. I want to have this many kids. I want to live in this place. And guys, those are fine goals, and I'm not knocking that. But what I am saying is that in 10 years from now, we must begin to make financial plans, financial goals to say, okay, now that we've made a commitment to putting it on paper, where are we going to be at in 5 years? Think long term. Where are we going to be at in 5 years? Think long term. How do I get in position to leave my job? Think long term. What do I have to do to become debt free? Think long term. What do I have to do to begin to develop enough passive income now that will allow me to live my job and live in peace or have financial freedom? What is the long-term financial goal or plan that you have for your life? That is something that rich people do that poor people don't. This is what poor people say. Poor people say. We say things like this. We say things like, YOLO. You only live once. And so we take that colloquialism and we'll say you only live once as an excuse as to not do what we know we need to do today, which is sacrifice, so that we can feel better about doing the thing that we know not to do, because we put out the thing we should do. And so we say stuff like, oh, well, you only live once. And then you say stuff like this. We say or do things like this. You say, well, at least all my bills are paid. Guys, I know it's hard. Please understand, I'm not knocking you. I know it's hard. But I'm challenging you to say that we got to begin to think differently if we want to get different results. We have to begin to do differently if we want to begin to have different results. Roberto, good to see you, man. I really want to talk to you. I looked for your phone number the other day, and I don't have it in my phone. But I really want to talk to you, man. I know that, we've been praying for your wellness, man. I know that you got sick. Roberto, you guys are somebody who took the course. took purchased a profit and bought property, like literally bought real property, sold the property before he even got it, and then he bought other properties, you guys, and he's never come to a conference, he's never done anything. Just off the course alone, he was able to follow it step by step and buy property. And I did hear that you were not feeling well for a period of time, and I wanted just to call you and check up on you, man, let you know that I love you with the love of Christ, and I was me and my staff, we've been praying for you and your wellness. All right. So, guys, rich people think long term, not just for today. So, when you begin to now, here's the challenge, you guys, and I don't know how long I can spend on this one topic because I got 10 of them. But here's the challenge with it, is that when you begin to think long term, it will change your vision, and when you change your vision, it will change your decisions. Hear me, please. You cannot think long term without saying, that's where I want to be 10 years from now. That's where I want to be 5 years from now. And when you see that 10 years off, and you see that 5 years off, and you say, okay, that's where I want to be, you have now changed your eyesight. You now change the direction that you're looking at, and because you change your vision, the thing that keeps you disciplined in life is that I have a vision in where I'm going, and if I'm going to accomplish this vision, I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I can't do this, because the vision will help you have self-discipline. That's why people say you got to have a vision board, because the vision board is a vision that you have in front of me, and I know that in that vision board, if I want to be debt-free, if I want to drive that particular car, if I want to have that particular house, if I want to have this much money in the bank, I cannot continue to do the same things. I must begin to think long term. Your vision will change your decisions, but watch this. If you never, ever, ever think long term, your vision will never change. Your vision, what's up, C-Nance? Good to see you. Your vision will never change. So when I say think long term, what is the vision you have for your life? What is the vision that you have? Have you challenged yourself to say, I got to think outside the box? Now, here's the thing. Thank you, Pamela. That's real good. Pamela Songberg, thank you. Here's the thing with that. When you begin to think and see your vision, hey, Brittany, can you do me a favor? Bring me 3 or 4 Rob reports. Please, if you can hear me, bring me 3 or 4 Rob reports. Guys, think long term. Get out of this box, please. Just begin to manifest and begin to, the only way that you will begin to manifest the things that you want is that you got to begin to think long term. That's the key. That's number one. Guys, I had Brittany bring me here a Rob report because I want to show you that you have to put different things in front of your life. Some people want to go and sit into a car of their dreams, right? Some people want to see, thank you. Guys, this right here, and I'm not telling you to go to order this. I'm not at all. These are big magazines. That's really heavy, too. This is the Rob Report, right? This is a magazine I've been subscribed to, I bet you, for over 10 years. And when you open the Rob Report, you begin to see, first of all, it's really big. But this is the stuff that you begin to see inside the Rob Report, right? Let me see if I can find some other things in here. Like, this is a magazine for the rich and famous. And if you are in here, you need to have a little bit of money for this. So, like, if you ever thought big enough to say, I want to own my own jet, or you want your own jet experience, this is a magazine. You don't find this in other magazines, right? Like, and I don't want to call their names, but yeah, I'm not going to call their names. But you don't find this kind of stuff, guys. You got to begin to think outside the box. Look at this. This is somebody's jet. That's nice. That's pretty. That's how I want to travel. But what am I thinking? What am I doing? I'm changing my vision. I'm thinking long term. In 10 years from now, I'll own my own jet. In 10 years, I'll own my own yacht. In 10 years, I'll do this. In 10 years, I'll do this. And then write it down. Write it down. All right? So, guys, and this is like 3 of them. Let me see. One more. Let's see if I can. Let's do this one. This looks like this is Image Matters, what the modern man should wear right now. Now, I ain't really all about image, if y'all know, so it's not for me. But you know, this this little boat here, this car here, you know, the Robbie Ford is really it's pretty cool. How many of you guys would like to stay here? Right? That's pretty nice. Or here, or drive this, or what? Hold on, right there. Or you know, I don't know what this wine costs, but I bet you it's not cheap. And I'm just flipping, right? I'm just flipping through here, and now it's getting to clothes. I'm not really into clothes, and I really don't expect you or want you to get into that. Then starts talking about different cars you drive and things like that. But what I am doing is that watch this. I'm changing my vision because I live in Gary, Indiana, and where I want to be, I don't see in my current neighborhood. You better say it again, Pam. I think that's Habakkuk 4:2-2. So write the vision down, make it plain. So we'll bring it up again because that's going to come up in one of my next points. All right, we think rich people think long term. We think long term. I cannot think about just today. I must think about tomorrow, and I must think about my future. Now, I heard Miles Monroe say something like this, and well, I can't really get into it, but he one of the points he brought up, he said your future is inside of you. Your future is inside of you, and that really blessed me because one of the things that he pulled out of that, it says that many people are waiting for their future to come, but the truth is the only way your future will happen is that it has to come up out of you. That your future will only be what you make it. And the only way to change your future is to change your thinking, is to change how you look at it. The only way to change your future is to think long term, to get another vision, change your decisions, and watch how your future begin to change. But it starts with the thought. It starts with you sitting down and saying, what does my future look like? It starts with you writing it down. That's the first principle we're going to talk about. If you guys ready for number 2, go ahead and put number 2 up for me. Number 2, and this is going to be kind of important. Well, I think all of them are important, and it just resonates with me. This is my soapbox. Anybody on my staff knows that this is a real problem or a pet peeve for me, and that is rich people don't make excuses. Guys, if you knew my work schedule, if you knew how hard I work, it would mess most people up. Like, it would just mess most people. People are like, oh, he sits behind a computer and well, I do, but I do guys, I run 4 companies. I literally run 4 companies, and you cannot make excuses. So that's the next one. Rich people do not make excuses. Wealthy people do not accept or make excuses. Now, that's from themselves or that's from others. That's from yourselves or from others. You cannot accept excuses. Now, here are some typical excuses that we typically hear and we accept, but we can no longer accept excuses. We say things like this. We say, oh, but I'm a single mother. Oh, but, everybody's in debt. Oh, but, it ain't that bad. Oh, America or society has it in for me. Oh, I don't make enough money. Oh, like we have so many different excuses as to why we are. Oh, it's predatory lending. Oh, it's racism. Oh, it's classism. Oh, it's reverse racism. Oh, if I could only get more education. Oh, if they would have only gave me the job. Oh, if they would have gave me the promotion. Oh, everybody's out to get me. These are excuses, people. Please understand. And I'm not trying to beat anybody up. I'm trying to challenge you. That when you see and when you find yourself making the excuse, you say, no, I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to find a way to overcome the excuse. When life gets hard, I've heard, guys, I'm always letting somebody pour into me, especially when I'm in my vehicle or I'm in the shower. I think it was Jim Rohn. He said this. I believe it was him. I believe it was him. He says, when life gets hard, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Oh, my God. If that's not powerful. He says, when life gets hard, don't wish life was easier. Wish that you were better. Because if you were better, it wouldn't be hard. And if it was easy, you would never grow. The only way to grow is to find tough circumstances in life and not make excuses for them. Think of it this way. What happens if, well, what would have happened if during this, let's pick an era of time, right? Let's say Jesus. Jesus says, well, you know, these people just so messed up. Okay, let's do another example. This is I think this is good. All right, the Bible says that right after the Last Supper, that Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane and he prayed and he asked the disciples, pray with me, right? And he went and prayed. The Bible says he prayed until drops of blood came pouring down like sweat. That was a tough thing. Guys, imagine being so, and this is scientifically true, that you can be so stressed out that literally that the blood vessels can burst and come out through your pores as though you're sweating. And it comes from immense stress. This is scientific. He's so stressed out about the job that he's about to overtake that he's praying, and he's praying so hard because the pressure is so deep that the vessels bust and he starts sweating blood. What happens if he said, this is just too hard, I don't want to do it? What happens if he would have said, you know what, the disciples won't even pray with me. I went back 3 times and asked these jokers to pray. They won't even pray with me. Right? That's Jesus. Let's do another example. What happens if Harriet Tubman would have said, you know what, I made it out, and I done went back 3-4 times, and it's man, I can't get these people to work with me. I can't seem to find a way to get them back up north. No. They found an obstacle and they overcame it. That's how they succeeded. That's why they're remembered, because they're remembered by the obstacle that they overcame, not by the excuse that they made. You write this down. You will be remembered for the obstacles you overcame, but for the obstacles you overcome, not the excuses that you make. Oh, that's good. You will be remembered for the obstacles you overcome, not for the excuses that you made. People will never see your intentions, they will only see your actions. That says this, that your intentions can be good, but your actions are always better. People, we make excuses all the time. By the way, guys, if you have not shared this particular scope out, please share this out. If you're on YouTube, give me some comments. Give me some comments. Give me a thumb up. If you're on Facebook, guys, please start a watch party. Please share this out. And if you are on Periscope, please invite your friends to come in. Just hit the invite button and invite your friends to come in. All right? But they don't accept or make excuses. I know, and it's not to invalidate that life is hard. That's not to knock where you are right now. But I am saying that excuses will help you accept where you are. When you no longer say, I'm going to let an excuse keep me down. If it's poverty, how do I stop from being poor? If it's credit, how do I get my credit right? If it's a business, how do I develop my business? If it's passive income, how do I get it? What excuse have you made in the last month that you should say, you know what, I need to overcome the problem, not let the problem overcome me? Number 2, you can never, wealthy people never make excuses. You never accept it. Matter of fact, one of the things that we talked about, thank you, one of the things that we talked about when I owned CFIC Home Mortgage in Smyrna, Tennessee, that's when I was in Nashville, is that I had a rule that my people could not bring me a problem without bringing me 2 solutions. If there was a challenge or a problem as to why you could not do your job, that's fine. It's cool. But don't come in here and say, I could not do my job because of this. No, that's unacceptable because that's an excuse. Problems are going to come. I pay you to solve problems. I need you to come up with not 1 but 2 solutions. And when you come to my office, say, hey, this is the challenge that we had. But I think we should do this, or I think we should do this. And I really think this is better, and this is why. So now we can think through the process. But if you bring me the problem and I got to solve the problem, then why am I paying you? Because I only pay you for the problem that you solve. And if I got to solve the problems, then your position is not needed. Do not ever accept excuses from yourself. Do not ever accept excuses from others. And finally, do not ever accept excuses from your children. If you allow your children to make excuses, they will end up failures. I'll never forget, I think one of the greatest accomplishments I made was not graduating from high school, not graduating from college. One of the greatest accomplishments that I made was becoming a state champion in wrestling. And I'll never forget my sophomore year. No, it was my freshman year. My freshman year is a guy by the name of Jamal Fox and Ernest Middleton. Damian was his little brother. Jamal Fox and Ernest Middleton, they picked on me. At least I felt like they picked on me. I felt like they were bullying me. And I was, I fought. But these guys were real wrestlers, right? This is my first year. I've never wrestled before in my life. I'm on this wrestling mat, and they would literally, push me in the line. And then I would try to partner up with other people, and they said, no, you're going to be my partner today. And they would beat me literally just beat me the whole practice. And they would just, when I say pummeled me. Oh, my God. And one day I quit. And I went home, and I don't even know why my dad was home that day. And he came in the house. He says, why are you home? Because I played football. I wrestled. I did track, baseball. You guys, you name it. I never came home directly after school. I was always in something. Jazz band, pep band, marching band. I didn't come home early. And so, he said, what are you doing home? And I said, well, I quit wrestling. He said, well, why you quit? And I told him, well, Jamal and Ernest are picking on me, and I don't want to go back, and yada, yada. And one of the things that he told me, he says, you are Howard, and we don't have quitters in our family. Now, next season, you ain't got to wrestle, but you're going back this year. And if you're home tomorrow this time, I'm going to be here. And if you home, I'm going to whip your beep. I would much rather fight Jamal and Ernest than fight my dad, right? So I went back to practice, and guess what? They continued to pick on me. They continued to pummel me. But this is what I found out. When I wrestled with people who were freshmen, I pummeled them. When I wrestled with people that were sophomores, I pummeled them. I had never wrestled before in my life, ever. But I found out that them doing that, they wasn't disliking me. They were training me and teaching me. But I made an excuse that it was too hard. I made an excuse that I'm getting beat down. I made an excuse that they're picking on me. I made an excuse that, oh my God, I can't do this. But my freshman year, I wrestled varsity in Iowa. Iowa's the wrestling state. I wrestled varsity, and I had a winning record. My sophomore year, I was a state qualifier. My junior year, I took third in state. My senior year, I won the state championship. How did I do that? I did it because my dad did not allow me to make the excuse and quit when I was a freshman. Major accomplishment for me. That's one of the greatest accomplishments that I've ever been able to do, because wrestling is a very disciplined sport. And because I learned the disciplines through wrestling, those same principles have followed me throughout my life. Never allow yourself or others or your children to make excuses. I know it's hard, but what are you going to do different? I know it's challenging, but how are you going to overcome it? What happens if Martin Luther King said, you know what, this civil rights thing is just too hard? You will only be remembered for the problem you solved, not the excuse that you allowed yourself to accept. Number 3. You guys ready for number 3? 3. The third thing that you should be focusing on in order to become rich, or the third thing that rich people focus on. Guys, throw them number 3s up for me. Rich people focus on is, here it is, their owners. Now, we're going to go almost like a shift, right? Rich people own, they're not owned. What's up, D. Matthews? D. Matthews, DeMond Matthews, he's on Facebook now, but he was one of my first employees. Matter of fact, I think he was my first employee at CFIC. He'll tell you, man, don't bring no excuses in my office. He'll tell you, man, no, pet peeve. He'll tell you. Guys, rich people are owners. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound hard, it's going to sound tough, but I want to just give it to you like it comes to me. Wealthy people own, they're not owned. Let that sink in for a little while. Wealthy people own, they are not owned. What am I saying? In life, you're going to own or you're going to be owned. Hear me. Wealthy people understand this principle, that if I don't own my future, somebody else will. Guys, if I don't talk about another principle than this one, oh my, if I don't own my future, somebody else will own it for me. What does that mean? It means this. It means, and Theresa, what's going on? She's on her vacation, guys, on a cruise, chilling, and she's on here. So good to see you, Theresa. That's my sister, y'all. You're going to own or be owned. So this is what this means. There are so many people that own poor people. It's ridiculous. Hear me very well. The first people that own you the first thing that owns you is debt. Debt. The Bible says that the borrower is a servant owned to the lender. Every servant or every slave has a master, which means that you are owned by debt. The reason you go to work is so that you can pay the mortgage, the car note, the student loan, the visa, the debt. That's the reason most people go to work, is they got to pay debt. Debt owns you. But watch this. Somebody else that's wealthy, they're on the other side of that debt. And so every time you pay interest, you're paying them. Think about it this way. What if you own Visa and somebody was paying you 29% interest every single month? And millions of people are paying you 29% interest. Or what if you own the finance company you finance your car through, and millions of people are paying you 19% interest? See, why it owns you, they own it. I need y'all to get this. Either you're going to own or you're going to be owned. What else owns you? Your job owns you. Yes, your job owns you. Your job owns you, and I can say this because I've been there, y'all. I remember having my 1994 Toyota Celica. It was red, had the little sunroof, and I remember it didn't have no air conditioning. I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was a 5-speed. I dropped my 5-speed, but I had to go to work in a suit. I had no air conditioning, and I had to drive all the way to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I was in Nashville, which was about a 45-minute drive, or 30, 45 minutes, somewhere in there. And I remember having to take off my suit and my tie, take off my jacket and my tie, or unloosen it, and drive all the way to Murfreesboro, and then I had to work all day. I put my suit and jacket back on, work all day, and they told me when I could take a break. They told me what time I had to be there. They told me how long I could take for lunch. They told me if I could take off for work to do things that I had to do in life, or come home for the holidays so I could see my daughter, or somebody died. They told me how much time I could take for me to die, and they told me that I had to drive back home through traffic. They told me everything. Why? Because they owned me. If they didn't own you, they couldn't tell you all those things. Military, same way. 4 years, they own you for 4 years. Either you're going to own or you're going to be owned. Last concept I want to kind of bring out and make this thing clear. So a lot of our young men, especially our youth, they desire to be famous athletes. I want to be Mike. My generation, I want to be Mike. Right? Want to be like Mike. Right? That was one of the things. Like Mike, got to be like Mike. Y'all remember that? It was a big old thing. Like, you want to be like Mike, right? You want the Jordans, all that. Okay, cool. Today it's LeBron. Right? And these are athletes, and they have committed their life, and they're great at what they do. They're very successful. And because they're disciplined in that lifestyle, because they're great at what they've done, people have admired them. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be admired, but watch this. LeBron works for somebody. Michael worked for somebody. Who paid Mike's check? If LeBron makes $100 million, who cut his check? The person who cuts LeBron's check won't have knee problems when he gets older. Won't have back problems when he gets older. From running up and down the court, taking the charges, jumping all day, doing the practices, the things that make him great. The person who owns is on the yacht. They're making the next deal. They're on vacation, spending time with their family. And while we desire to be, watch this, while we desire to be Mike or LeBron or whoever it is, LeBron is owned. Let's think about the person who owns them. Because either you're going to own or you're going to be owned. Hear me. Wealthy people own. They're not owned. Which brings me to point number 4. Guys, throw up number 4 for me. If you guys not want number 4, while you guys are throwing up that number 4, I want to tell you that I'm going to be in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Here we come. Florida this weekend, you guys. We're going to be pouring into you for 2 whole days. Now, anybody who's called us and wanted to get a sit down with me knows and understands that it literally costs $100 for every 30 minutes you have me on the phone. Guys, I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You get me for 2 days in a room with a very small number of people, and it's only going to cost you $40. Now, what do you get in return for that $40? Not only will you get me pouring into you, but you will also receive a plan to be debt-free and retired in 7 years or less. I want to say it again. Debt-free and retired in 7 years and retired, not or. 7 years and retired in 7 years or less. Now, here's the thing I want to ask you. Remember we talked about thinking long term? Remember we talked about either you're going to own or be owned? Remember we talked about never making excuses? If you are in the Florida area, there should be nothing stopping you from getting to Wealth Weekend this weekend. Because $40 is dropped in the bucket. You can't even get me on the phone for $40. You're going to have me in a room by yourself for a whole weekend so that I can pour it into you. Guys, myffu.com/Wealth Weekend. myffu.com/Wealth Weekend. All right, you guys. So, number four. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Lord, for putting up the number 4s. Other people don't like me enough to put up a number 4. Not a number 4. A number 4. What's going on with YouTube? I don't think live on YouTube. Let me check it out. So, tell you what, while I'm trying to get YouTube up, I'm going to go to a small commercial break, and I will be right back if my computer let me. All right, I'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Katrina Beverly. I'm a new investor with Financial Freedom University over here in Indiana. And I just want to let you all know that I went to the auction for the first time and I purchased me 3 properties, and I am so excited and I am overwhelmed and ready to get into making this money. I am standing in front of my duplex that I had purchased at the auction for $1,100. And I am so excited to become an Indiana resident because I will be moving over here because I plan on purchasing more. And I am so excited, and I would advise you all to get in on this because it is big. Get with Financial Freedom University, and he will help you get what you need.
Alright guys, and we're back. I still could not get YouTube up. It says I'm offline, so for those of you who are trying to get us on YouTube, I'm so sorry. But it says we are offline, and I don't know why it's saying that, but I don't know. So either way it goes. Guys, my name is George Howard. I am your financial Moses. My job is to take you from that land of not enough over into that land of just more, or not enough or just enough over to that land of more than enough. And I understand that today it seems like everything keeps getting higher and your bills are staying the same. It's okay. I'm going to show you how to get out of that bondage, how to move from your current situation to the place that God has you and wants you to be. This is the calling, the purpose, the anointing, the ministry that God has placed upon my life. Guys, we have helped deliver literally over $80 million worth of debt. Gone. Right? Guys, at Financial Freedom University, we literally have helped generate, about $30 million in cash flow. And I want to make sure that number's right, but I think it's like $30 million now in cash flow. And just the last 2 years, our investors and our people have bought over $8 million worth of property that will generate $1.6 million a year in cash flow. Like this, the things that we're able to do here are absolutely amazing, because this is the calling that God has put up on my life, and He's told me that He's tired of His people shouting about the blessings of God and never possessing the blessings of God. So I'm here as your financial Moses, letting you know that you do not have to stay in the same place that you are. Guys, come to Wealth Weekend this Florida. Number 4, guys. Number 4. Guys, if you're ready for number 4. Yes, Lori. She said, can you put a property in a 17-year name? Yes, you can. They can own property. All right, so number 4, you guys, is, remember we just talked about number 1. The first thing that wealthy people do that poor people don't is that they think long term. Number 2 is that they never make excuses. Number 3 is that they are owners, because you're going to own or be owned. Number 4, you guys, is that rich people or wealthy people buy time and poor people sell time. Let me say it again. Wealthy people buy time and poor people sell time. What does that mean? It means that wealthy people understand that there's only 24 hours in a day, and so they must maximize as much time as they can. And the only way to maximize as many hours in a day as they can is that they have to buy it from other people. And poor people think about a job when wealthy people think about a business. So watch this. Every time you go to work, you're selling your time for $10 an hour. He's buying your time, your 8 hours, for $10 an hour. You're selling your time for $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year. You're saying that I'm going to sell you my time. I'm going to go to work in exchange for money, give you my time for money, and they're saying so that I don't have to go to work, I'm going to buy your time, and buy your time so that, watch this, I can utilize as many hours in a day without me having to do it. I have to buy time and not sell time. Rich people, hear me, wealthy people will buy time while poor people will sell it. The only way to maximize life and passive income is to buy from other people. I say the only way, but one of the only ways. Because there's only 3 ways, guys, you can make money. Hear me. Only 3 ways you can make money. You're going to work for somebody else. You're going to work for yourself. Or something or someone's going to work for you. You got to hear me. You're going to work for somebody else. You're going to work for yourself. Or something or someone is going to work for you. What does that mean? You're going to work for someone else. Means you're going to go to a job every single day. They're going to buy your time. Right? The second thing is that you're going to go to work every day. Or you're going to open your own business. And now you just bought yourself a job because your job cannot run without you. And you have to get it to a point where you don't have to be there. It will run smoothly without you. Right? So you now bought your job because now your time is now committed to running your company. See, before, when you were selling your time was committed to running someone else's company. But now your time is committed to running your own company. But the truth is, you still don't have your time. The way that you free your time is that you buy it from other people, and watch this, and let it make money even while you sleep. What does that mean? So, I said the third thing was that either you're going to, first thing was that you're going to work for someone else. Second thing, you're going to work for yourself. The third thing is either someone or something is going to work for you. That something is called interest. That something is called passive income. That something is called real estate. That something is called automation. That something is called passive income. That is something that you must begin to utilize. And then finally, that something is other people. The reason you go to work every day is because somebody's paying you for your time. But what happens when you begin to buy other people's time? And they begin to work for you 8 hours a day? What happens with that? It was funny. I was cleaning some gutters the other day, and I realized how easy cleaning gutters were. I said, man, this ain't hard. Get a ladder. Like, all you need is a ladder. Go up on a house, put some gloves on, scoop it up, throw it on the ground, scoop it up, throw it on the ground, come down the ladder, move it, climb up, scoop it up, throw it down, grab a bag, put all the stuff you just threw on the ground in the bag, get paid, and go to the next house. It may take you an hour to clean a gutter. Guys, they pay $100 to $100, $200, $250 an hour, or, a job to clean your gutters. Like an average gutter cleaner is going to cost you about $200. It takes an hour. That's $200 an hour, or $100 an hour. If you bought a ladder, listen to me, hear me. If you bought a ladder and some garbage bags and some business cards, and you begin to knock on doors and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Susie Orange, right? I don't know, Susie Smith. And I represent, we're Awesome Gutter Cleaning Service. And we want to know if we can clean your gutters. And we have a special right now that typically is $200, but we have a special right now for $99. Do you think you could get 3 or 4 gutter cleanings in a day? Bet you. How much did you just make? You made $300, $400 that day. But you're not going to be the one to clean the gutters. You're going to give somebody else the bag, give somebody else the garbage, the ladder, and say, I'm going to pay you $10 an hour to climb up on that ladder, clean it out, climb down, climb up on the ladder, clean it out, and I'm going to pay you $10 an hour. Now, watch this. In an 8-hour day, you paid them $80, but they made you $500, $400. What did you do? You bought their time. And then, watch this. Then you hire somebody that's going to knock on the door and say, hey, my name is George Howard. I'm from Awesome Gutter Cleaning Services, and we want to know if we can clean your gutters. It's normally $200, but today we have a special for $99. You say, your quota is, watch this, your quota is to sell 5 of these a day. And then you have the other person with the ladder and the ladder and the garbage bag, literally, go clean out the gutters, and you haven't done anything. You developed a system, you bought inventory or equipment, and you hired them, and now you have a salesperson and a gutter cleaning person, and they can be one and the same. And then you pay them. That is like the easiest business. I said, man, it's got to be the easiest business, but you have to begin to think differently. Either you're going to buy time or you're going to sell time. Wealthy people, they buy time. Poor people, they sell it. Guys, we're talking about the 10 different principles that wealthy people live by. Number 1 is that they think long term. Number 2, they never make excuses. Number 3, they are owners because you're going to own or be owned. Number 4, they buy time, not sell time. And number 5 is that they put other things or other people to work. We just talked about that. They put other people or other things to work. Guys, at some point, we must stop thinking like the consumer. Because all we've ever been taught is to think like the consumer. And until we begin to change our mindset to say, hey, instead of getting a second job, why don't I get a second business and let somebody else work for me? Not that you work for your company, let somebody else work for your company. Start thinking like, you know what? I would rather have 100% of, watch this, instead of having 100% of my efforts, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts. What is that called? It's called network marketing. Guys, there's been so many millionaires made in network marketing. There's been more millionaires made in network marketing than it has in movies, than in basketball, than in songs, and in writing, signing contracts. Literally, there's more money in network marketing and multi-level marketing than in any of those industries. But what happens? I have other people that are working with me, right alongside of me, in that particular organization. And the great thing I like about network marketing is that I cannot be successful unless I help other people become successful. Doesn't it sound like a biblical principle? That the same thing you make happen for others, that God will make that happen for you? My success is contingent upon your success. And so because I want to be successful, I'm going to help you be successful. And because I help you be successful, I'm going to be successful. And that, I would have 100 people doing that than have me doing 100% of the work. Why? Because you put other things or other people to work. You must begin to put your money to work. So when I say putting your money to work, say, how do you put your money to work? Here's a principle, and I don't know how long we're going to be able to do this, right? I want you guys to write this down. Whatever breaks your circle will destroy your wealth. Now, I know you guys don't know what that means. Whatever breaks your circle will destroy your wealth. Let me see if I can find my circle. I want to share it on my screen. Stay with me. I want you guys to type it out. Whatever breaks your circle will destroy your wealth. I'm going to go over this real principle real quickly. I gotta get the picture up. All right, the circle of wealth. And we're going to open this up, and then we're going to share my screen with you. All right. And so I'm going to share this screen with you guys real quickly, and hopefully we can blow this up just a little bit so you guys can see it, because it's really kind of small. All right, that's better. All right, yeah, that's better. All right, so let me share my screen. Really? I haven't set that up yet? Oh, I did set it up. All right, let's get rid of the banner. And my picture's not in the corner. What is going on right up in there? They don't like me today. Alright, that's okay. I don't need my picture in the corner. You guys, this is what I call the wealth circle. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Alright, the circle of wealth. Anything that breaks your circle destroys your wealth. Guys, this is here is called active income. This is you going to your 9-to-5 job. Right? 9-to-5 job. And what happens is that what should happen is that we should be buying assets with this 9-to-5 job, this active income. You said, George, I'm living check to check. I don't know how to buy assets when I'm already living check to check. Don't worry, I will show you at Wealth Weekend. I will show you at Wealth Weekend. You take your assets, you take your active income, you buy assets. What's that? You know, tax liens, investing, opening a business, doing real estate, doing Forex and trading, use the principle called Be Your Own Banker, doing insurance. All of these, you guys, takes 3 to 6 months to master this particular trade. Well, once you bought the asset will begin to pay you. When it begins to pay you, it will pay you passive income. So I bought the asset's now working for me and is now paying me, and out of that, I will now begin to live my lifestyle. Hear me, money from the assets gives me lifestyle, household expenses, regular living expenses. The remaining, I put in what's called my Freedom Fund. My Freedom Fund has helped me get free, right? So I do vacation, I do debt, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Vehicles, I do holidays, my luxury, all this is my Freedom Fund. But this is what happens. We do active income, and we never make it to the assets because we break our circle. What breaks our circle? Car note, house note, birthday, Christmas, vacation, Gucci, Louis, Dooney & Burke, Coach. All of those material items called lifestyle breaks our circle, and so it will always disturb your wealth. My job is to teach you how not to break your circle. This circle should go round and round and round. And you keep buying assets until your passive income is greater than your active income. Once my passive income is greater than my active income, I no longer have to work another day in my life. But as long as I keep breaking my circle, it will always keep disturbing my wealth. And I will never be wealthy because I always break my circle. Whatever breaks your circle, it will disturb your wealth. The question is now, I want to ask you, listen to me, what is breaking your circle? What are you doing in life right now that breaks your circle? Your rent, your car note, your Visa, your MasterCard, your student loan, your Discover, your furniture bill, all of those things break your circle. I'm going to show you at Wealth Weekend how to let them no longer break your circle, that you can buy assets and then let your assets pay for those things. Not pay for them, but pay them off. All by using a few principles that you can put into your life and let it begin to change your life. I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida this weekend. www.myffu.com/Wealth Weekend. Whatever breaks your circle, it will disturb your wealth. Why? Because rich people put other things to work. They put other things or other people to work. And I want to teach you how to buy assets and let them assets begin to go to work for you every single day and let them pay for your bills. Because we buy liabilities. We are specialized in buying liabilities because that's all we ever been taught, is to be consumers. God sent me, and you're on this station at this time, at this moment, because God said it's no longer for you. God says that today your life changes. Today you begin to think differently, you will do differently, and you will have different results with money. That's for you today. Number 6. Guys, if you're ready for number 6, boop, 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 boop. Put up number 6, right? I want you guys to put up number 6 for me. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Go ahead and do it right now. Put up number 6, you guys. All right? Put up the number 6, you guys. If you don't know, my name is George Howard. I am the founder of Financial Freedom University. I've been teaching how to accumulate wealth and financial principles and financial education for over 20 years. We've had our own radio show for over 5 years across 5 different states, you guys. In Nashville, Tennessee. We was in Nashville. We were in Georgia. We were in Alabama. We were in Mississippi. And we were in Kentucky. And we were in Tennessee. All of them, you guys, as far we went. And we were on every single day answering your live phone calls. Guys, at Financial Freedom University, we have helped literally deliver over $80 million worth of debt, $30 million worth of cash flow. We have helped other people generate. We are changing people's lives. We're taking you from that land of not enough and just enough and moving you over to the land of more than enough. And we're using biblical principles to do it because we are a Christian company, and I believe that God does not want you to be broke. He does not want you to live check to check. And he talked more about money in this book than he talked about heaven. Get that. And you all want to go to heaven. But you always say you want money, but God said, he'll bless the work of your hands. But your hands got to be doing something. He says whatever you do will prosper, but you got to be doing something. And if your hands ain't working, and if you ain't doing nothing, there's nothing for him to bless, and there's nothing for him to prosper. My job is to show you exactly how to bring into manifestation the things that you've been praying about, fasting about, sowing seeds about. That is my job, to help it become tangible upon the earth. And that's in the area of finances. My job is to help you get out of debt, My job is to help you develop passive income. My job is to give you financial freedom so that you can work in the anointing, the passion, and the purpose that God has called you to. And you no longer have to serve money, but you can serve God because you never have to worry about money another day in your life. Number six. Number one, you guys, was they think long term. Wealthy people think long term, not for the day. Number two is that they never make excuses. Number three is that they are owners because you're either going to own or be owned. Number four is that they buy time, they don't sell time. And number five is that they put other things or other people to work. Number six, I'm about to cuss. If you have not shared this out, please share it before I cuss. Before I say this word, go ahead. I challenge you right now. Hit that invite button right now. Hit that share button right now. It's in the corner. If you're on Periscope, them 3 buttons in the corner. Hit it right now. Invite your friends. If you're on Facebook, hit that share button and hit watch party. Watch this. Number 6, I'm about to cuss. Y'all ready? Sacrifice. Y'all see that face? Wasn't it pretty? Sacrifice. That's a cuss word to most Christians, right? When we read, Romans chapter 12, he's like, you need to be a living sacrifice. You like, right? Because we want everything from God, but then we don't want to give up nothing for God. Watch this. We want to get out of debt, but we want to keep spending. We want to make money, but we don't want to go to work. All right? Watch this. We would rather watch television instead of writing a business plan. We would rather watch reality TV show instead of make reality lives. Make your life a reality. Sacrifice. Now, I'm saying this, guys, because I can make these faces. Because it was funny. I called my friend Dion today. We don't get a chance to talk very often. And he began to say, hey, what do you think about this movie? I was like, I don't know. I ain't seen it. What do you think about this show? I don't know. I ain't seen it. Then he said, what do you think about this fight? And I was like, I didn't even know there was a fight. And he's like, then he says, and then I said, well, who fought? And he called their names. And I said, I don't even know who either one of them is. And then he says, well, did you know that there's a British champion? I was like, no, I didn't. I thought most boxers, the champion was American. He said, man, we ain't had an American champion, a heavyweight champion in a long time. I said, oh, well, who'd he fight? And he said, Andy somebody. And I was like, Andy? That sounds like an American name. He said, so is it American? So I know he's Mexican. I said, there's a Mexican named Andy? He said, yeah. He said, the British guy was black. I was like, he was? A black British guy that's heavyweight champion? He said, he ain't head champion no more. Then he says, do you watch TV? And I was like, You know why? Because I make sacrifice. Because I believe in making sure that tomorrow is better than today. And the only way I do that is that I got to be intentional about making tomorrow better than today. And I don't want to sit back and watch rich people get richer. I'd rather, watch this, I'd rather be able to say, you know what, I'm going to fly to the fight and be able to stay where I want to stay, do what I want to do, live how I want to live. And watch it happen. Guys, we make so many excuses. I seen this Facebook post the other day. I shared it on my line. I want to see if I can bring it up real quickly because it blessed me. I think Thessie shared it, and it just blessed me. I was like, whoa. I want to see if it blesses you too. Right, so I'm going to bring up my timeline. Guys, if you see if I can bring it up on my timeline, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right quick. I'm going to let y'all see my whole Facebook page. Just get all in my business, right? So this is my timeline. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. That's me right now. That's Wealth Weekend. Come on. Now, you see it thinking right here. Just come on, man. I got people watching me. Stop it. Right? That's a commercial. I'm going to see if it's not too far down. I just shared it like 2 days ago. And I don't think I post that much. Here it is right here. Guys, I put this right here, 5 stars. And I put in there 5 stars. So y'all think I was cussing? Right? But I want you guys to watch this. This is what I mean when I say sacrifice. Let me see if I can blow this picture up. Can I click on it? It can. Look at this. Healthy groceries, $100. Too expensive. But a dinner date, $100? That's reasonable. What? Make it make sense to me. A therapist, $130. That's absurd. A trip to Target, $130. Oh, but they had great deals. We don't want to sacrifice. Average college class, $1,000. Oh, that's too expensive. But that iPhone, oh, that's a necessity. Huh? They don't want to sacrifice. Kids summer camp, that's $180. $180. Oh, that's way too much. He can go outside and get a Nintendo or play PlayStation. But a new pair of shoes, oh, well, they on sale, $180. 60 minutes of exercise. Oh, I don't have the time. But 60 minutes on Instagram. Oh my God, time flies. 1 hour on the phone with your parents is an eternity. But we'll take 1 hour watching Netflix and say, let's watch another one. Guys, everything in life is about priorities. What do you want to be 10 years from now? God, that bless my life. Because you know what I see in this? I see sacrifice. I say I'm going to sacrifice the dinner date so I can buy the better groceries. I'm going to sacrifice the Target so I can go to a therapist. I'm going to sacrifice the iPhone so I can go invest in myself in college. I'm going to sacrifice $180 shoes so I can send them to summer camp that's going to enrich their life and change their life. I'm going to sacrifice time on Instagram so I can put something better in my life, like reading a book, like going on YouTube and watching a class, or like watching George Howard, or signing up for Financial Freedom University. I'm going to stop watching Netflix and I'm going to spend time with family. I'm going to make the sacrifice. Somebody better say it. I know I cussed. I'm sorry. Sacrifice. Said the S word. Guys, this is the quote. I want you guys to try to remember this. This blesses my life. It says this: everybody must suffer from one of two pains. Hear me. Everybody. Nobody is absent. Everybody. Nobody's extinct. Nobody's absent. Nobody gets a pass. Everybody must suffer from one of two pains. Here they are. I'm going to give them to you. It's the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Everybody must choose. Everybody. Everybody must suffer from one of two pains. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. But here's the catch to it. Discipline weighs ounces when regret weighs tons. So I'm going to say it to you one more time. Everybody must suffer from one or two pains. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. Have you ever had the consequences of your actions and you say, oh, I wish I just would have? You know what that would have? It was discipline. Oh, I wish I just would have not had sex or put on a condom or waited till I was married. Well, that lack of discipline, now you got child support for 18 years. Now you're stuck with a baby daddy that's not in your kid's life. Why? Because you didn't have enough discipline, and so now you have regret. You get ready to retire and you don't have enough money to make it. And you say, oh, I wish I would have saved. Pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Oh, I want to open a business. God, I wish I would have opened a business. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Which one are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to sacrifice today and have discipline? Or are you going to regret it later? Because the discipline is ounces compared to the regret that weighs tons. Wealthy people make sacrifices. Poor people make excuses. Which one do you choose? Guys, George Howard here, you guys. I'm not here to beat you guys up. I'm here to encourage you in the Lord that we got to start thinking differently. Guys, we're talking about the 10 principles that wealthy people choose to do in their life. And if you can choose to begin to change your mind about money, I promise you money will change its mind about you. And begin, you'll have change, or it would change from changing your pockets to dollar bills in your wallet. I messed that all the way up. Oh, guys, if you change your mind about money, money will change its mind about you, and it will stick around for a whole lot longer. Matter of fact, it's going to change. It's going to change from changing your pockets to dollar bills in your wallet. I don't know what I did the first time. I don't know what it. I've been doing that, guys, for like 15 years, and I just blew it. Right? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, guys, number one, guys, out of the 10 principles, we've gone over 5 of them. Number one is that we must think long term. not just for today. Number 2, we must never make excuses. Number 3, we must be owners, because you're going to own or be owned. Number 4, you must buy time, not sell time. Number 5, you got to put other things or other people to work. Number 6 is that we must make sacrifices. And inside of that, guys, I want to talk about delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. I ain't got to say it too much. Y'all already know. People done preach delayed gratification for too long. I'm not saying you can't wear nice things, have nice things, drive nice things, and do nice things. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as long as you keep doing it now, you'll never have anything later. I'm saying delay it and watch it come to you. Here's my own testimony. Guys, 5 years ago, I was homeless. I was living on my auntie's couch, ended up moving in with my girlfriend because I didn't have nothing. My mama would say, you ain't got no pot to pee in, no window to throw it out of, except she didn't say pee. Right? You ain't got one of those. You don't own nothing, ain't got nothing. But guys, I took time and I said, I'm going to get 5 years of my life. And I'm going to make sure that I change my circumstances. And so I gave up television. I gave up girlfriends. I gave up, movies and going out. I gave out sports and all that kind of stuff. So I said, I want to change my life. I want to make sure that for the rest of my life that I never have to worry about money again because I never want to be homeless again. And I sacrificed. And people say, you work too hard. You have no work-life balance. But watch this. You're right. I have no work-life balance now so that I'll have no work-life balance later. Because all I did was work now so that I can live for the rest of my life, and my kids can live for the rest of their life, and their children will live for the rest of their life. Is it worth 5 years to live the next 50 in peace, the next 50 in financial freedom, the next 50 trying to figure out the legacy and the lineage I'm going to live and the impact that I'm going to make across the face of the earth? What's going to happen with George Howard's name, with Financial Freedom University after I'm gone? What's going to happen? Is it worth the sacrifice of 5 years? Is a movie really worth it? Is that vacation really worth it? Is that fight really worth it? Is that TV show really worth it? Is it really worth your future? That's the question. Is entertainment and fun really worth it? When you give up 5 years of it and you can enjoy every single thing forever. But if you never have delayed gratification, you'll never have gratification. Let that thing for you. Just kind of marinate for a minute. Guys, number 7. You guys ready for number 7? Put up number 7. Right? Alright, so put up number 7. You guys 7. 7. What do wealthy people do that poor people don't? Number 7. 10 principles that wealthy people live by. Number 7. Well, I hate to say this, but I'm about to bust some bubbles, right? Breathe in, breathe out, right? Okay, number 7. Y'all take a deep breath for this one, because I'm about to throw a left hook. Bow, right? Here it comes. Here it comes. It's coming. Bow, here it comes. Wealthy people use credit as leverage, not as a lifestyle. Wealthy people use credit for leverage, not as a lifestyle. What does that mean? It means wealthy people are doing this, you guys. Well, let's talk about what consumers do, right? What consumers do. This is what consumers do. They get their credit together so they can go buy another car. Isn't that a repeat of history? Like, I had bad credit because I had a big car note, and I get my credit together so I can go get another car note. Huh? So you worked in your credit. Before you were driving a Toyota. You got good credit now, so now you're going to go buy an Audi. But your financial situation hasn't changed. You're still check to check and you're still broke. I got good credit, so I can go get another credit card so I can go on vacation or buy other things with that are not assets but liabilities. Guys, that don't make sense. But because we don't think differently, we keep doing the same thing. wealthy people use credit as leverage so they can buy assets, and those assets will begin to pay them for the rest of their life. So they open credit, watch this, not at 19, 20%, 21% interest rate and 29% interest rates, guys. That's terrible. So what they do is they'll say, okay, we'll get some credit, but I'm going to buy 10 properties and fix them up, and I want to flip them, or I'm going to buy 5 properties, and I want to have passive income off those properties for the rest of my life. They'll take credit and say, you know what, we're going to take this credit, and we're going to open this business, and we're going to train people, we're going to buy equipment, and we're going to buy the business, we're going to buy the building, and we're going to buy the inventory, and then we're going to actually have enough money for payroll so that they can work for me and begin to pay me for the rest of their life. Watch this. I'm going to buy time, and they're going to pay for me and work for me for the rest of my life, and my kids' life, and their kids' life. How do you think Amazon opened? How do you think Dell opened, and Microsoft, and Google, and eBay, and YouTube, and Instagram, right? How do you think they opened? They use leverage. But instead of them going to buy the Gucci and the sweater and going on vacation and having a nice Christmas and turning up, they said, we're going to not use it for consumer goods, but we're going to use it for capital goods, and now I'll have capital for the rest of my life because I participated in capitalism. Wealthy people use credit for leverage, not for a lifestyle. Pow! Right, Brittany? I see your pow up there. Use credit for leverage, not as a lifestyle. Because I gotta go. That's number 7. I want to stay there for a little while and keep talking about it, but I can't. I gotta keep going. Number 8. Write the vision down, make it plain. They set goals. Wealthy people set goals. And then after they get done setting them, they have a plan to achieve them. Guys, do not ever write a goal down without having a plan to accomplish it. Don't ever write a goal down without having a plan to accomplish it. My goal is in 5 years I'm going to be debt-free. What is the debt-free plan? In 7 years I'm going to leave my job. What is the plan to leave your job? In 10 years I'm going to be financially free. What are you going to do to be financially free? In 3 years I'm going to be able to have passive income. How is it going to come? Because, hear me, shouting is not a strategy, and turning around 3 times in a circle ain't your breakthrough. I'll say it again. Shouting is not a strategy, and turning around 3 times in a circle is not your breakthrough. Set your goals and have a plan to reach your goals. That's what wealthy people do. They set goals. And these are long-term goals. They set short-term and long-term goals. And the long-term goals they set first, and then they set short-term goals that's going to help them meet their long-term goals. So you say, you cannot have a 10-year plan without a 5-year plan. And you cannot have a 5-year plan without a year plan. And you cannot have a year plan without a month plan. And you cannot have a month plan without a week plan. And you cannot have a week plan without a today plan. What is your goal for today that will help you meet that week goal? That will help you meet that month goal? That then will help you meet that year's goal? That then will help you meet that 5-year goal and then that 10-year goal? Because it will not happen by itself. You must set goals and have plans to achieve them. Because setting goals without a plan is just a dream. And when you find out that dream does not become a reality, you live your nightmare. I want to stay there, but my time was up. I got to keep going. Number 9, we kind of talked about this earlier. Guys, this is a true statistic. Wealthy people do not watch television. Guys, there's a study say wealthy people watch less than an hour a day of television. Look it up. Google it. Wealthy people watch less than an hour a day of TV. 9% watch reality TV, while 78% of poor people watch reality television. If that's not a major statistic, I don't know what else it is. Poor people, Yeah, they they know what's on Game of Thrones. Y'all think I'm playing? It's not even made up. I don't even know who's in the playoffs. Matter of fact, somebody was like, "Who won the championship?" And I'm like, "Oh, they made it to the finals." Had no clue. Who's in it? I know Golden State. I don't know who they playing. I've seen it on Facebook. I don't care. I don't care who's getting married. I don't care that J-Lo is about to marry that guy over there, or this person getting a divorce and they get into a fight. I don't care what Lil Wayne is doing, or what's that girl named Nicki Minaj, or what's that other girl? That other girl cuss all the time. That's real popular. That's just freaky. Just say anything. When I say anything, just it was F them, then I get some money. That chick. Guys, true story. 2 years ago, I was with my daughter on New Year's Eve, and some kind of way this girl came up, and she was like, "Yeah, she sang that song, F them, then I get some money." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You've never heard that song?" I was like, "No." And she played it for me, and I could not believe. And she's very popular. Anyway. Cardi B. Thank you, D. 9% of... I don't care what they do with their life. I don't care what they're doing on Love and Hip Hop. I don't care what they're doing on the Days of Our Lives, or I can't think of the reality TV shows because I don't watch them. I'm trying to think, like Love and Hip Hop. What's the other one? I don't know. Oh, the wives, the Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of New York, Housewives or whatever. I don't care. Why do you care? Ask yourself, why do you really care? Well, I just need I want to live other people's drama. That's what normal people are doing. But if you want to be not normal, turn off the television, pick up a book, pick up YouTube, and turn it into your educational resource center. In fact, I challenge you today. I challenge you. No, Brittany, I'm not saying you can't watch your reality TV shows. I'm saying that if you want to make a change in your life, and you want to be rich, and you want to do what the rich people do so you can have rich people results, you shouldn't watch reality TV. Number 10. You need to come to Wealth Weekend. No, it is, but it's not. Right? Number 10, you guys. Number 10 is that rich people or wealthy people, they invest in themselves. They invest in themselves. Wealthy people invest in themselves. So number 1, you guys, number 1, they think long term, not for the day. Number 2, they never make excuses. Number 3, they're owners. You're going to own or be owned. Number 4, they buy time, don't sell it. Number 5, they put other things to work, or other people to work for themselves. Number 6, they believe in making sacrifices, and it's called delayed gratification. Number 7, they use credit as leverage, not as a lifestyle. Number 8, they set goals and have a plan to accomplish those goals. Number 9, you guys, is that they watch TV less than an hour a day. They believe in empowering themselves. And then number 10, you guys, is that they invest in themselves, called education. They invest in themselves, called education. They're always empowering themselves. I'm going to make a statement, and it's going to sound very arrogant, but I promise you it's coming from a very loving place. It's going to sound kind of conceited, but I'm telling you this because I really care. I'm telling you this because I really want to open your mind. If you knew how to be wealthy, I promise you, you would already be. I want you to think about that for a minute. If you knew how to be wealthy, I believe that you would already have accomplished it. I know, you say, "Oh, nobody's going to tell me how to manage my money. I know how to manage money." Well, if you knew how, you wouldn't be in your current situation. If you know how to be wealthy, you wouldn't be in your current situation. If you know how to be wealthy, you wouldn't be paying the lottery. If you knew how to be wealthy, you wouldn't be playing the lottery. Game of Thrones is about family dynasty. I didn't know that, Melanie. Thank you. Most black folk have no idea what family dynasty is. Melanie. Melanie, don't hit him in the stomach, girl. She just said, poof, like this. Take that. Like, I call Melanie the Facebook bully, y'all. If y'all don't know, if y'all come for Melanie, I'm telling you, she gonna come back for you. She is a Facebook bully. Like she, she's just a Facebook bully, y'all. I'm telling you, she only about this big too. You see her? She weigh about $105, and just as nice as they want to be. But I'll tell you this, Melanie invested in herself. She came to not one conference, but came to 2 conferences. But when I sat next to her at the auction, and I'm not making this up, I really thought her book was mine. When I seen her pictures and how she wrote on them and what she wrote on them, it's exactly what I did. But you know what she did? She took the principles that I taught and followed them exactly. And now Melanie owns 8 properties debt-free. And what is it, in 2 years, Melanie? In 2 years, she owns 8 properties debt-free because she followed the system, she worked the plan, but she invested in herself. Guys, if you were in Florida this weekend and you're not at Wealth Weekend, and I hate to say this, and I don't hate to say it, but it's going to sound very brass. If you make excuses, you deserve to be broke. If you will not make the sacrifices, you deserve to be broke. If you do not set the goals and get a plan to get there, you deserve to be broke. If you continue to be owned and not find a way to own, you deserve to be broke. If you never put other things to work or other people, you deserve to be broke. If you keep selling your time and don't buy it, you deserve it. You know why? Because it's only a click away. Click the button, join Financial Freedom University. Click the button, register for Wealth Weekend, and watch your life begin to change. Because it's not that hard. But if you're not willing to put the work in, you will never get the results. So I challenge you today to change your life. Allow my anointing, allow my calling to minister to you for an entire weekend. I'm coming to Florida. If you are in that place, you need to be there. If you're not in Florida and you know people that's in Florida and that Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, you need to call them on the phone and say, hey, I got this guy. Tag him in the post right now. Tag them right now in this post. Say, I got this guy. You really need to go. You need to go see him. Send them as your subjects, right? Send them as your test subjects. Go to Wealth Weekend. Tell me what you think about it. So that way, when I come to your city, it's like, yeah, I can't miss it, right? Send them, let them be the what you call the test subject, guinea pigs. But I'm telling you, you got to find a way to invest in yourself, guys. You have to. You have to. Because if you never invest in you, nobody else will. Guys, that's my time for the day. That's my time for the day. Well, I got to talk about that just for a little while. Guys, you got to begin to educate yourself in other things. And when I say educate yourself, guys, I'm not talking about college. Please understand that. I'm saying you have to begin to learn other skill sets. You have to begin to learn about money. You have to begin to learn about wealth, how money operates, what do rich people do, begin to follow those things. How do I buy real estate debt-free? How do I get into the insurance game? What is the Rockefeller formula? What is this thing called? I mean, it's just so many different things, like be your own banker. What does this stuff mean? How do I lower my taxes? How do I open a business? How do I go to the next level? How do I stop working for somebody else and begin to let other people work for me? But that does not come without you investing in yourself. You've got to get the education, and you don't get it in college. They're not going to teach it to you in college. But it's free on YouTube. Most of the time, they've got a course they want to sell you. I got one too, but I got results. We got receipts. That's my time for today, you guys. I love you with the love of Christ. I really do. So, guys, I hope I did not offend you through anything I said today, but I did want to shake you just a little bit. Sometimes you got to shake people just a little bit so they can get the whole message. Just wake them up. Just wake up. You got to just grab them and just shake them. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. So, I chose to use language today to kind of wake you up. If I was offensive, if I said you've been offensive to your brother, go to them. So I'm going to you now and tell you, please forgive me. But my motives and my intentions was to help you begin to see differently and do differently so you can have different results with your money. I love you so much. Guys, see you this weekend. in Florida. Until then, I'll be back tomorrow for Morning Manna. I love you with the love of Christ. I'll see you later.